Hello, Pisces. What's up? This is Sage, and welcome to your reading. And for your reading this time around, it looks like you're looking to shine, Pisces. You're looking to have a great social time. You're looking to have a blast. You want to meet many people. You want to have many lovers, maybe also. You definitely want to immerse yourself in creativity and yap about it, which is strange considering that when I sat with your energy this time around, Pisces, I got no messages, just silence. And maybe that's the message, like maybe things are getting too quiet. Maybe things are getting too quiet, and you're definitely ready to like be a social butterfly this time around. You're ready to mingle. You are ready to put yourself out there. And with this fifth house Gemini sun shining stuff, there's like this wish that you want fulfilled. It's not just about having fun. It is also about Five of Pentacles, Lord of Material Trouble. But where's the wish in this? What do you mean? I need to know what the wish is. Wheel of Fortune, Lord of the Forces of Life. Okay. So it kind of feels like material troubles. Okay. So although it does kind of feel like material troubles have been following you everywhere, it also feels like this is not just about material troubles. This is also about feeling left out, feeling like an outsider. Maybe it's just been going on for too long and you're tired of it. You know, you want your luck to change with this. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely want to change all of this troublesome material energy. Um, you definitely do not want to be an outsider anymore. You definitely want to, maybe collaborate with other people. You do not want to spend on friends that don't spend on you back, like all sorts of material troubles. You want to change that, you know. So yeah, this is great. So let's see what can help liberate you. Okay, like if we think of this material trouble as like a pattern that's been following you all of your life, then what does it take? What does it really take to liberate you, to change the wheel of fortune in your favor? So let's ask the Herb Crafter's Tarot that. We've got like 2 plant decks for you. So already I'm guessing that you are super delicate, super sensitive at this time. You want to put yourself out there, but you don't want to be hurt again. You don't want the same patterns to repeat themselves. Of course, like nobody wants that. So what can liberate my darling Pisces so that they're no longer an outsider, so that they no longer face drain of money? Okay, so that's interesting. The devil shall free you, apparently. What do you know? And let's take another plant deck, the Seed and Sickle Oracle, and let's see what it is, what sort of state do you want to arrive at. But since these are plant decks, maybe the state you want to arrive at is like a different version of you. So let's see what it is. Blackthorn. Okay. Um, and instead of this as the destination, maybe I'll pull up another charm, something for Pisces, something that represents them at the end. Yes, you want to be more solid and anchored. And it also feels like you want to be connected. You know, you want to finally be connected, whether it be to a community, to family members, to friends, to like a knitting circle, to, you know, whatever it is. You want to be a part of something and you want to be anchored in there for life. Because, you know, things get pretty lonely. You want people around you that feed you instead of, you know, drain you. Okay, Pisces, so from what we have here, the devil is going to free you. Blackberries. So blackberries have this thing of like, you know, the berries are so sweet, but uh, if you're not aware, you'll get yourself pricked by some pretty nasty thorns. So maybe that's what your previous interaction in social spheres has been like, whether it's just social spheres for like dating or making friends, starting creative projects, whatever it is. There's always like a bit of sweetness, but you focus so much on the sweetness and ignore the thorns, and you get pricked, and then, you know, it's a whole drama. So there's that. Like, beware of the thorns. It's okay to go out there and pick the sweetness from all these people, but never unsee the thorns, you know. Always be aware of them, and that way you will avoid getting hurt by them. And this is something that takes time. You know, this is something that takes practice. Um, and the other lesson of Blackberry is, you know, when it comes to adoration, when it comes to appearances, when it comes to people like putting you up on a pedestal, when people put you up on a pedestal, it is a sweet feeling and it can be quite heady. You might get totally into it, but if they put you on a pedestal, there's a power dynamic, and they are, you know, they've literally given you power, and they've taken power from themselves. And eventually, even though they're the ones that gave you power, even though they're the ones that put you up on a pedestal, they are the ones who are going to be unhappy about it sooner or later, and they're gonna lash out at you for it, you know. Yeah, yeah, that's heavy stuff, right? Like, you don't want any of that anymore. You don't want to be lashed out at, you know, just because someone put you up on a pedestal and then later decided um, that they hate you being there and they want to like tear you down completely, you know, in a way that's like uncalled for. So use blackberry in your pies, make a blackberry crown if there's, you know, themes of adoration and people putting you up on a pedestal that's, you know, fucking things up in your social spheres. Um, yeah, so a crown of blackberry helps with that. Um, uh, Yeah, so that you don't get caught up in other people's adoration, fixation, and all of that stuff, because it can be sweet in the beginning, but it's got some nasty thorns, you know. So yeah, and also go for all sorts of sweetness. Go for all sorts of sweetness that you can get when you put yourself out there, Pisces. There's no reason to really hold you back because you're scared of getting hurt. In fact, you should just, um, you should just be aware of them. You know, you don't have to be scared of them. Like, you can always pick blackberries from vines without getting hurt, as long as like you don't get in too deep. So that's the point here, I guess. Go blackberry picking when you go out and have all of these parties and your social life is like booming and happening. um, yeah, definitely take whatever you want from whoever, however, but don't get too deep with any of them, because the thorns, you know, because of the thorns. So yeah, once you do this, you open yourself up to having a better time, socially speaking, with other people. And you have the ability now to change your fortune, to get yourself out of material trouble and into this element of like blackthorn. So blackthorn is about making real connections. I did say be um, take it easy, be shallow with all of these people. Don't get in too deep with any of them right off the bat. So yeah, although you won't be getting in deep with any of them at the beginning because of this BlackBerry message, uh, since you're not letting fear hold you back, and instead you're just being aware, you will of course be aware of those people that do not have these thorns. Or maybe they do have thorn. How's blackthorn like as a plant? I'm not sure. They don't grow around here. um, but there's this sense of stability, and not just with the people that you find fate connecting you to, but also stability in terms of, damn, I can really create so much when nobody is like fucking up my vibe. Damn, I can really create something solid, create something that anchors me down, create something actually useful to me when I don't have people sucking me dry, you know? So, yes, this is what we have for you right now, Pisces. Um, you want to change your luck, socially speaking. Um, and what works in the beginning is to like take sweetness wherever, just mind the thorns, and watch out for people um, adoring you too much or putting you up on a pedestal. Do not give that sort of thing your attention. It's not gonna be worth it. And you do that, you do more of that, and then you'll finally find yourself in a much stable place with friends that stick around, with lover or lovers that stick around, and with creativity that is in your control, that stabilizes you further, that you can rely on. And now let us map out this journey. Oh, I'm using the wrong deck of cards. Let's map out this journey of you sort of unmasking yourself and like revealing your worth to everybody, revealing your great big luxurious mustache. You know, it's just like a symbol of authority, a symbol of respect among your peers. um yeah, so in this social journey of yours, let's get the Adventure Time Tarot to sort of map out um, the ways in which you'll be unmasking and finally revealing yourself to be um, this impressive person. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, I'm just gonna read this for a bit. Similar coins upside down. Um, you've done a lot. Maybe you were on a break and you want to start something new, and you think it's going to bring you so much clarity and nourishment. This came up at the High Priestess. So this is knowing that this creative venture of yours is so good. So it's really about creativity then, not much about people. It's just that people get in the way and you want to change that. And then we have this. Okay, so so yeah, these are different sorts of energies that you need to unmask, but maybe it's less about unmasking and more about reframing. Like maybe um, this represents things like, oh, yes, I'm feeling a little better right now. Um, yeah, so this one gives the feeling of like, oh, you're feeling a little better right now. Um, and you feel like pressured, you know, just because you're feeling a little better and you have a little more energy, you're feeling a little pressured to spend that energy that you've taken such a long time to like um, cultivate again. So instead of saying things like, yeah, I feel better now, I guess I could come out, instead say things like, I'll come out when it's time. Yeah, like the stars are not aligned yet. You know, yeah, I'll come out when it's time. The stars are not aligned yet. Um, yeah, I move in cycles, and right now it's stay at home cycle. In a few weeks it'll be go outside, so I'll see you then. You know, it's all about the reframe when it comes to all of these things. So this is Knight of Swords, which is all about like forward movement, mental clarity, and just like shooting forth because you think you're right, you know you're right, you're just like, yes, let me do this, you know. And there's like this partnership also here, but upside down it feels very restless and directionless. Maybe you have all of this excitement in you, but you don't know where to direct it, right? Um, or maybe you feel like you need to be told what to do. You can't just like figure out what you need to do just like that, you know? So, oh, when it comes to like sentences, maybe you say something. Oh, okay, so this is all about unmasking your language, unmasking your language and uncovering authority, like speaking with more authority. Oh, oh yeah, and that's why the Gemini was here. Like, duh. Duh. So anyway, we have the Knight of Swords. So upside down, the Knight of Swords can seem like, I feel like doing something, but I don't know what to do. Oh, maybe we can start a podcast together, but I don't know what to say. So it's words like that. Like I want to do this, but I don't know what to do. I want to be this way, but I don't know, So instead of saying things like that, so unmask that language and replace it with language that's more like the moon. Okay. So the moon is like, yes. So so this is like really settling into the language of feelings. This is the language of facts and doing things. So you're saying things like, I feel like doing this, but I don't know what to do. So it feels like you're starting off feeling based, but you're ending up fact based, and you don't have to do that at all. You can just be like, I am feeling undecided right now. That's it. So this way you don't invite them to like fix your feelings. So that's what it is. So Knight of Swords upside down is like restless energy, and it makes you air out your feelings, and it makes you sort of invite other people to fix your feelings for you, when instead you can just tell them that I am feeling undecided. And there's this sense of like, when you share your feelings like it's a statement, it gives out the vibe that you're comfortable with feeling that feeling, and you're comfortable with staying in it, and you're not inviting anyone to change your state of being. You can say that I'm feeling a bit crazy today and I love it, you know? Or you could say, like, I'm feeling really restless today. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm feeling really restless today. I can't wait to see what happens. So there's a way to flip your language around. So maybe with this Knight of Cups, there's a lot of like wishful language. Um, Maybe there's a lot of visual language. You're saying things like, in an ideal world, this would not be happening. You're saying things like, if only everyone was as sweet as you, I would not be facing all of the shit. Um, so yeah, it's a language of if onlys. It's a language of um, I wish things were better, while that's all valid and that's all true, um, this wishing for positive things, it puts you in a space of longing, and I don't know, it's just not working out for you. Don't ask me why that is. Um, okay, the cards say Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is, okay, usually Ten of Wands speaks of burdens, but since this is the owl, I feel like, this guy is ending all of these things. So, um, instead of visual language, be say things like, I am ending this pattern once and for all. I am not talking to shitty people ever again. Like, give yourself these strong sentences to use that talk about ending things, that talk about um, your pure will manifesting. So it's not wishful. It's not like putting power into the universe, into like God's hands, or into the hands of like uh, kind strangers. Instead, you're taking responsibility in your language. You're taking responsibility for your situation, and you're saying things like, I'm going to end this pattern. I'm not going to talk to this guy anymore, or I'm not going to talk to that girl anymore. Um, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. So it's like a lot of, it's a language of endings, and it's strong and it's full of statements. So yeah, I've just been giving you statements. So then we have the Queen of Wands, also upside down. So Queen of Wands upside down. What sort of language could this be talking about? Queen of Wands upside down. Um, Queen of Wands upside down. Is this about control? It's about control. It's about control. It's about like, um, oh, no one ever listens to me. It's a language of control. It's a language of like, yeah, but they don't do it like I tell them to, things like that. Um, you think you have control over every little bee, but you don't. And your language is lamenting that. You are lamenting. You are, yeah, this could, so the Queen of Wands could really show up as um, you knowing that a lot of people, a lot of things are out of your control, um, but you're complaining about it. You're being like, oh, I wish this person did as I asked. Is it so hard to do as I ask? I'm just telling you to do this. Just take the fucking nectar from this flower and put it in my beehive. Is that so hard for you? So, it's about you being this queen bee and being really dissatisfied with your bee minions. Okay, and you're talking about that dissatisfaction. You're talking about your lack of control over them. So instead of that, change your language to death. Change your language to what? What does that even mean? um, I guess I'll have to pull a clarifier for this one. Six of Swords. Okay, so it looks like you're changing that language anyway, and I don't really need to tell you. And this is going to be like a gradual change that'll happen, and it'll happen automatically. So, yeah, maybe I'll leave that as is, you know. Maybe I'll just turn it around. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe instead of like complaining about your minions just not doing the job like you asked them to, you'd be like, "Ooh, I have so many minions. I don't have to tell them much. They just do what they're supposed to do." And we love each other, you know? So maybe like there's a positive queen bee sort of language that you can get into here, you know. And this, of course, talks about you knowing what this whole journey is all about and you being on board with it, you being in tune with your intuition, and um, yeah, you being able to communicate that clearly to other people too. And then here we have the Eight of Cups upside down. So the Eight of Cups is all about like leaving a whole situation and going away somewhere to find something more fulfilling. But upside down, it just feels like you are staying with the boredom, or you're just like hanging around here and you're saying things like, um, damn, I have so many things around me. And yeah, it's kind of like, okay, for example, um, you're getting hit on by all of the hot guys, but like none of them are interesting. So, um, this is talking about that sort of language. You know, you're like, oh my God, I have so many dresses and nothing to wear, you know, or like I have so many men hanging on my every word, but none of them are interesting. So you're saying a lot of stuff like that, and it's really not signaling the right things to the universe. So what else can what else can you say? What can you how can you reframe this? How can you say better? How can you empower your language? Queen of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Swords is not afraid to make the cut, is not afraid to cut her losses and leave, you know. The Queen of Swords is not afraid to be like, yeah, I'd rather stay alone. You know, so that's the kind of language she uses. I'd rather stay alone. Like, oh my God, is there nothing in the dating apps anymore? Yeah. Instead of like focusing on that and saying things like, oh, there's nobody, I keep swiping and there's nobody, and be like, "Ah, I guess this is not a good option. The dating apps are just not helping. I need to find something else. Maybe going out to the beach can increase my chances, you know. So it's not just about Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords always has a plan. She has like a backup plan for the backup plan. So like she's not gonna like sit at a situation where there is plenty but not the plenty that she wants. She's not just gonna sit in this situation and be like, wah wah, no one is to my liking. She's not gonna like look at all of the cups and go like, but none of it is for me, and just stay there, right? She's gonna be like, yeah, none of it is for me, and she's gonna move on from there. And she's going to devise a plan for where she can get a pretty cup or like a cool person but maybe like, you know, the scenario needs to change. Yeah, that can be something you can say, like, something needs to change here. I need to revise my strategy because none of this is working. I see lots of fish and none that I want. I need to look for a different pond, maybe, you know. So it's very decisive, and the words are followed by action, and she's not afraid to be cold. I think that's the emphasis here. Like, I think you where stay where things are not really working out for you. I think you just stay there, um, out of, I don't know, some sort of politeness, of some sort of attachment. But you need to be a bit of a cold-hearted bitch. You need to make those decisions, and you need to let your voice hear. I mean, you need to let your voice um, be firm when you're speaking that decision out to the world. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Pisces. To just give you a nice little recap, you need the blackberry to teach you how to handle yourself in social circles this time around. So yeah, it looks like you're gonna get your wish, Pisces. You're going to change your social situation, this pattern of material trouble, of drain of resources and energy, and it starts with unmasking your language and upgrading your language to something more, um, to something that feels more decisive, firm, and something that's like full of statements rather than questions, you know. And that's all I have for you, Pisces. Go on, have a good time. Bye.